Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wyld. Today we are talking about the Cartwheel app. So one of the things that I always say is to have a very well diversified gig portfolio, and one of the apps you may run into is the Cartwheel app. This app has opened and closed a lot of opportunities for gig workers, and we're going to talk about all about what that means. So in this video we are talking about everything you must know about the Cartwheel app, what they tell you versus how it actually is, and everything in between. But before we do that, let's go over a quick disclaimer. The content of this video does not contain, is never intended to be, legal, business, financial, tax, or health advice of any kind. This video is for entertainment purposes only. It is advised that you conduct your own research and consult qualified professionals before applying anything you find online. I also want to be clear, this is coming from the perspective of a gig worker, not any sort of dispatch company or whoever may be paying for it. So my experience may be a little bit more difficult for you to understand if you are somebody who is deciding whether or not to use this for your company. Although I would encourage you to watch this to the end anyway, because I'm going to expose a few major flaws that may surprise you. What is Cartwheel? Cartwheel is a software for a lot of smaller gig companies and just dispatch companies in general to use to send through to their drivers. And it's a damn good one too. It's very fast. You would be surprised how many companies don't even use their own software to send out orders. And it saves on money, saves on time, and they can focus on bringing in more customers and bringing in more orders. Now, I do want to be as clear as possible. This is not a gig app. This is a software that gig companies use. So many people have asked about that. That even Cartwheel has made it clear as day on their homepage. This is not a gig app. They do not directly onboard drivers. It is so funny. Signing up for Cartwheel. Now, because Cartwheel isn't a gig app, you need to be invited by the company in which you are onboarding with in order to be on Cartwheel. So for those people in my comment section always asking me,
how do I sign up for Cartwheel? How do I sign up for Cartwheel?
You have to sign up with a Cartwheel company. The annoying part about that is that they actually set your username and password for you, which is so annoying. Using Cartwheel as a gig worker. Using the app is actually rather self-explanatory and is broken into 5 tabs at the bottom. New is where orders are going to be sent through and can be claimed. There are 2 different types of orders that will be sent to you. You have an order assigned to you, which is an order that has a decline button on it, and you are the only person seeing that order at the moment. And then there is new order available, which doesn't have a decline button. It only has a claim slider, but is being signed up with anyone who is signed up with this dispatcher. That really only applies to companies that you are logged in with at the moment. We will go over what that means later. The route tab is where you could see the route you would need to take and even the tab to complete the order in. This is where you're going to be completing the order, taking the picture, going into the GPS. Literally every step of the order is going to be done through this tab. The chat tab is where you can contact the dispatcher. To be honest, I hate it. The system is always glitchy when it comes to the chat feature. I would make sure you save the phone number of whatever dispatcher you're working with or whatever phone support team system that they have. Some of them are kind of all over the place, but some of them are melded together relatively well, so it is what it is. To find out how the structure of the company we're working with is utilizing their support system, because the in-app chat is kind of trash. History. Every time you complete a delivery, the order payout and even the details would be in the history tab. Just go to the day you did the order for, click on the order, and you could see all the details, including payout and all the information you saw and inputted during the delivery. Profile. This may not be the best name for this tab, to be honest. It's more like a settings page where you could set your GPS, connect to any resources the company has available for you, tutorial system, and you could add a profile picture. Up to you on that last one, though. The Cartwheel bottleneck. The major problem I see with Cartwheel at the moment is something I like to call the Cartwheel bottleneck. Simply put, there are a lot of Cartwheel companies, as we call them, out there, but you can only really be logged in at one of them at a time. So if you want to work with Jackrabbit deliveries, for example, you would have to log out of any other accounts, let's say Red Wagon deliveries, and you still wouldn't be online for Bolt deliveries. So how could they send you orders if you aren't online for them because you're not logged in? Cartwheel did confirm that they're working on something that could help us do that in the future, but come on, guys. things. You can't wait for somebody else to make a solution for you. You have to be more proactive in making sure you're properly diversified. The workaround. One of the things that Food Fetch did is they signed up for their white label system to where they use their own app in store, but it would end up costing them more. That is to be expected, but at least you won't have to worry about signing up for different gigs. It's actually more common than you think to do it that way. Deliver That uses a software called Veho to dispatch their orders, and it's basically the exact same system, but blue. Having multiple devices. One of the things that we did confirm is that you could download Cartwheel on just about any smartphone, but not tablet or other devices, which stinks, but it does show there are benefits to having multiple phones. Don't let the teams know that though, because we don't need them in our markets. Common nonsense from gig companies. Some of the companies that I worked with like to play games with transparency, which is just frustrating. Sometimes they will tell you how far an order is, but they won't tell you how much it pays. Sometimes they won't track your location, so they will blame the communication challenge on that was easy cater, then they will badger you for your ETA every 32 seconds. Just be smart not to blindly agree to anything and try to maintain your patience. Mostly catering orders. Almost every company that I've worked with on this stuff is mostly doing catering orders. They do other things. They are applicable to other companies. This is mostly catering orders from my experience. Either way, Cartwheel companies are good to work with, but it's also important to work with multiple apps and companies, especially with the bottleneck system, when being involved in any delivery. Be as well diversified as possible in case something happens in the catering space. That is where the Driven Wyld Discord community can come in clutch. The Driven Wyld exclusive Discord community is for gig workers looking to expand their knowledge and expertise in their self-employment and entrepreneurial journeys. I partnered with Jeffrey Lago, the founder of Food Fetch, to bring you the most exclusive benefits based on your personal needs as a gig worker. Exclusive professional opportunities and gig postings, more live streams with high-level professionals in our industry, even an education system to help you build your own dispatch company, and scalable opportunities as well. Whether you're a gig worker looking for more opportunities to earn or looking for an exit strategy because the gig economy is an income bridge to what would be a long-term goal and not the goal, there is something here for you. Check the link in the description to sign up and get started with making the most amount of money in the least amount of time in the safest possible way. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.